dropping that series, they are technically in control of their own destiny. They could secure themselves that spot if they just continue to win.
Certainly could. It's a very real possibility for them. Arden, the first pick for GankStars here. We've not seen that much Arden today, honestly, which is kind of a surprising situation.
Yeah, it's definitely a surprising situation, but GankStars saying they're going to want to go for it. They did really well with it. Also yesterday, I believe, in the other competition, we mentioned the Halcyon Elite. So trying to replicate what the somewhat of a success they had against Cloud9. And since the Catherine didn't work for them, it did make sense.
And so with the Lyra then banned as well, it's kind of the common place now where it's you either ban the Lyra and take the Arden, or take the Lyra and ban the Arden or the Grace. So and we'll see if the Grace ends up coming through for Tribe. They'll have plenty of options when it does come around time for them to pick. But GankStars, you got to figure they're going to go for either their, they have to go for either their jungler or their laner here, because they first picked that captain role. And you need something that can deal with the Black Feather, but the Rona isn't available. The Jewel is going to be the option here. And so you assume that's going to the lane, and it kind of just goes along with what Luluju has been playing recently. The Rona, the Black Feather, Jewel is kind of in a very similar place.
Yeah, it definitely is. And if Tribe goes for the weapon power Black Feather in the lane, Jewel can have pretty good success against it in the early game and mid game, because it can shove it in and consistently harass it to push it and bully it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tribe at this point play CP Black Feather in the jungle and pick up something in the lane such as the Kestrel, or something that has good wave clear and can stay safe versus the Jewel.
We'll have to see where they do go with this on Tribe. Still a lot of options on the table, and this is a team that we've seen play multiple playstyles as well. It's not like this is a team with a one-dimensional draft that we'll be looking at here. Lyra taken, though, as well as the Arden. So captains such as the Grace, such as the Churnwalker, could well be available for them.
Yeah, Churnwalker, Grace, could even go to the Catherine, Catherine Batiste combo could come through, but with the Kestrel pickup there, not likely to be the case. I would still expect something like the Grace, but Lance is another one that is very strong. You can lock up your opponents. He can cancel out gauntlets. That's one of the things that we've seen a lot of Lances actually being able to do of late. So it'll be interesting to keep our eyes on that interaction when Arden goes for those big plays.
Kestrel does come through like I predicted, and it does make sense because now Kestrel can hold the lane against the Jewel. She can still be harassed, and Jewel still has a mid-game power spike over her, but you can just stay safe and clear wave with your Glimmer shots. The last pick I really like, because if you're going up against two heroes that will dive onto your backline, Lance makes perfect sense because you can protect that backline very well with your Kythian walls and your impales. Last pick is Samuel for GankStars.
Yeah, absolutely. Samuel for Xenotech. This is a classic Xenotech pick. This is one we've seen him play 1,000 times before. How are we feeling about the compositions? What do GankStars need to do to have a stronger showing here in Game 2?
A lot of it is going to be about positioning in these fights. You know, the Samuel usually wants to be sort of frontlining, but also kiting backwards alongside it. But then the Jewel wants to be going all in. So the interactions of when they choose to fight will be incredibly important, because once the Jewel goes in, Drifting Dark has to be out, and the Malice and Verdicts have to be following up with her.
Absolutely. We'll see if that is going to be the case. We'll see how this one is going to pan out. It's time to pass it back to our casters. Get into game number 2. Hashtag Vainglory 8. Let us know who you are supporting. But let's pass it back to Medic and Denominate.
Thank you very much, Munch. We are getting into the second game here between Tribe and GankStars, and Tribe are looking to secure their spot in the semi-finals tomorrow and be one step closer, just one small step closer to that world spot in Singapore. They're buying their tickets. They're on the page. They're looking at that website saying, oh, do I want business class? Do I want the extra legroom? Do we want an aisle? Do we want a window where you've got to win this game first before you can even start thinking about those flights out in a month's time? Denominate might still have his microphone muted, might be coughing. This happened last week, so we'll give him a moment as I continue to think about exactly where Tribe would be seated on this plane. I think you want a bunch of sort of relatively forward seats, but you need, like, I always leave a seat between me, so I get an aisle seat in the middle with the 3, and you get one aisle on one side and one aisle on the other side, and you have the seats open in the middle. No one ever takes those seats, because they don't want to sit next to other people. Anyway, Tribe are looking for a bit of an engage here. On towards MacDaddy, who will just walk away. The Elder Treant was taken earlier on. And GankStars able to escape from the Tribe gank squad.
Yeah, definitely a good start for them to be able to get out there, and it is GankStars taking a little bit of an advantage. And I'm sorry for leaving you alone there a little bit,
That's
Medic.
all right, man.
I'm getting better, but I'm not all the way there yet.
That's okay. I can appreciate you being sick. It's not like we've got a doctor around or anything who could look after you.
Yeah, I need a medic. That's what I need. Anyway, puns aside, we've got Tribe up against GankStars, and this Kestrel, and oh, hold on here, we'll hang on a second.
Yeah, a little bit of a fight in the lane as Mac Daddy is a bit aggressive onto Max Green. Xenotech doing a lot of work on his cosplay skin as he forces back Zeo and Max Green. And actually, at the moment, Tigers is just counter-jungling, just trying to get into the jungle of GankStars, who are looking for the early turret once again, trying to do one better than Tribe did in the first game, trying to get it by the 2.5-minute mark. They've got a lot of minions remaining here. Tigers on the flank. Xenotech knocked into the wall with the Githian. The turret does fall, but Xenotech almost goes down in exchange. Tigers pops the healing flask as he continues to try and aggress towards the Samuel. Eventually takes him down. Now Mac Daddy's the new target. So Arden tries to run his way away. Tigers taken very low. Good Githian. The Impale comes out as well. They're chasing on towards Lulu, but he just about gets away. Tigers is going to fall as well to the Thunderstrike, and it ends up being a 1-for-1. But remember, GankStars got the turret before that fight even started.
Yeah, they definitely did. This Jewel is so aggressive and able to soak up a lot of damage as well as deal a lot out, especially to objectives, as they will not avoid those Thunderstrikes. Even with only a couple items built, the aggression that comes out of a Samuel and a Jewel in the lane, that's really when we saw Samuel start to be a priority pick for a lot of teams, because he is so good at coming up and just applying constant lane pressure, able to harass both the enemy laner and damage the turret at the same time thanks to the splash damage. And it's going to be Xenotech getting dropped now by Tribe, as they're going to make a rotation into the GankStars jungle.
Yeah, not the best there from Xenotech. Probably would have liked to have survived. I think that's a sort of a ubiquitous statement you can say about most players in these games. Like, oh, not the best there from him. He probably wouldn't have wanted to get killed by the enemy team. Probably would have wanted to survive there, but wasn't able to do it, and gives Tribe a little bit of a window back into this game. Zeo is forced very far back in this lane, of course, because of that turret falling down early on, so doesn't want to push too far up. They don't have the vision control that they would like at this moment in time.
No, they definitely don't, but they're very, very much still in this game. I mean, the gold is even, in fact, a little bit in the favor of Tribe, despite 600 gold going over to GankStars for that first turret, and now Tigers might be a little bit caught out here.
And Luluzi wasn't quite able to land the rocket jump, didn't get the stun off, and Tigers is able to get away. Now Zeo's looking for the flank, Impale on towards the Jewel. Here comes DN, Zeo gets one, now looking for a little bit more as they re-engage. Tribe going deep on it towards the members of GankStars. Xenotech trying to kite back as much as he can, gets the Vanguard, the stun's gonna land though from that Githian wall, and there's the chase. It's an ace for Tribe, only 4 minutes in, and they say, GankStars, whatever you can do, we can do it better. Get themselves an ace, we'll take the turret down as well.
Yeah, they definitely should be able to get this turret. However, Lulu is coming back. They have a minion candy ace wave here, though, so I don't think there's anything Lulu can effectively do to even make it here in time. And that's going to be Tribe taking a massive lead now. Are evening up the turrets off of that, but more importantly, they have now taken a gold lead substantially in their favor, sitting up 1.5k, even though it was a good start for GankStars. And, 5 kills on the board for Tribe already. The Enzio on this Kestrel just doing so much work. Has the Sorrow Blade complete. And, making sure he's able to just harass out as much damage as he can. And Xenotech is going to have to make good rotations with the team where he can get a good Drifting Dark down and follow up with some good Malspur.
Zeo used the big bet button there to try and force Max Green back. Jumps in with the rocket leap. Zeo is quite low here as Mac Daddy shows exactly what this Arden can do on that back line. Zeo once again goes into the active camo stealth. Needs this Elder Treant to try and, just a normal Treant to heal himself back up. We'll get it. Mac Daddy on that front line. Playing that fighter Arden at the moment, jumping in as much as he can. Enzio looking for a flank, has the one-shot, one kill. Here it comes, doesn't hit onto Xenotech. The Impale, though, is going to land, and the Glimmers come out as well. The Githian wall knocks Mac Daddy back, and he is going to fall to Zeo down towards the bottom side of this fight. And Tribe once again get 2 quick kills and force GankStars to back away.
Tribe really asserting their dominance here, making sure that they can stay ahead and look to close this game out early again. Last game was just about 13 minutes, and they might be looking to try to break that here. Xenotech not quite having the effect that he would like. He does not have a tier 3 completed yet, 6.5 minutes into the game, so he's not packing the punch that Samuel needs to help Lulu be able to find enough damage in the fights to get a kill onto Dienzio, or even just force T-Tigers out, who only has a light shield for defense. But without a tier 3 complete for Xenotech, that's a lot of defense on T-Tigers already.
And Xenotech has the gold for a tier 3. He's just a little bit tentative about stepping up to the jungle camp. Let's see what he gets up first. It's going to be the Frostburn to start us off.
Yeah, so Frostburn obviously received some changes recently. It does provide a little bit more of a consistent slow, but it doesn't have the damage it once did. I mean, we can see those empowered Malice and Verdicts just tickling T-Tigers, whereas T-Tigers takes a massive chunk out of health of Xenotech. And Tribe, their real fear here is Lulu.
A very scary duel, but Dienzio is going to be the one to step forward, looking for the glimmers on the turret. They have a big wave here, but they can't quite get the damage down that they want. And the tiny T-Tigers will go in there. There's the active cam of the root from the side as well with the Impale. Here comes the Oblivion. Double sleep. They're going for nap time. Tribe let down by the GankStars squad. Here comes the big red button. Mediocre move more than anything else. Didn't really do the damage that it could have done, but Dienzio setting up here as Xenotech's the one to step forward. Dienzio takes a massive chunk from the Thunder Strike. He's forced back as the lightning was about to rain hell upon him. Max Green pops the Crucible to try and survive. T-Tigers jumping away with the Rose Offensive as well. And Tribe actually didn't take a fight that they wanted there at all, but T-Tigers with a great on point, absolutely shredding through Xenotech and Mac Daddy. And here comes the flank from Dienzio trying to land the glimmers. Already one down. Here's the one-shot, one kill. Lands onto Mac Daddy, but it's not enough. And Tribe now in a 2v3 have to disengage the fight. They give up ground to GankStars, who go for the gold miner.
Yeah, and that was a good capitalization from GankStars to abuse the positioning coming out of Tribe, and they end up coming out with a win there, bringing back some gold into their pockets as well as getting that gold mine, so getting it even a little bit closer. A gold discrepancy that was just 4,000 is now only 1K, so GankStars, they gotta be feeling all right off the back of that one. It's not perfect. They were hoping to be a little bit more ahead in the mid-game, but the fact that they're showing signs of life right now is absolutely huge for their cause.
Alright, signs of life. They have 2 kills in this game thus far. I agree with you, though. It's a better performance than it was in the last game when they only managed to get 1 throughout the 13-minute course. They now have a Tyrant's Monocle finished on towards the duel as well, so they are in a strongish position, although not dominant. It's still behind in gold, about 2,000 in the hole against this Tribe squad, who have looked very strong, who've been very aggressive early on, who've been willing to make these plays and take the front foot against GankStars.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Tribe, all back together, are going to look to go ahead and keep that aggression up as long as they possibly can so that they can try to close this game out and secure themselves a spot in day 2 of the final week of the Vainglory 8. So this is some of the most important games that Tribe has played all season long so far. They need to pull together this victory here. If they were to lose to GankStars, they would 100% lose their chance at making it to Worlds. And Zeno gets blown up! No medic in the world can save you.
That's disgusting. Impale comes out. The Gauntlet stunned out by the Githian wall. The turret goes down, and the jump in from Lulu is just going to be a jump to his doom. Straight into the Thresh Grinder that is this Tribe squad. They're chasing onto Mac Daddy as well. Do get the Impale, but I think they realise they probably don't want to dive in Arden at this point, especially since Xenotech is back up. Tribe with 2 turrets now can look for a little bit more. Mac Daddy takes a big chunk. Xenotech as well with those glimmer shots. Connecting on towards him. Dienzio jumps back in. The Githian wall. The Impale, and that is a dead Samuel once again. It's not the best of positions to be in. A big red button comes out. The one-shot, one kill from Dienzio is absolutely on point. It's only Lulu Ziu left alive to try and defend this choke point turret for the GankStars.
Yeah, but can he do it? There's so much damage coming out of Tribe already in this game. Have to be incredibly careful, however, because T-Tigers and Dienzio are very low. One good Thunder Strike from Lulu could have killed either one of them. Go ahead and make it out and take some farm with them. But Tribe, they're poised right now, looking for a victory. They're looking good doing it.
There they are. Let's have a quick look across what items they have got as well. It's a Tornado Trigger into Tyrant's Monocle for Dienzio at 603. He is dominating this game. Max Green has finished his Echo, the Fountain, and the Crucible. Basically, an almost fully built Lance Page there as well. And Tiger's going Broken Myth and Shatterglass, a very common CP Blackfeather build.
Yeah, definitely looking for that raw burst here, pair it up with the amount of damage that Dienzio can put down. And so far it has worked. They've been able to take an edge throughout most of this game. They just have to keep it up, as obviously GankStars, they've been able to find a kill here and there. Nothing major, but you know, if you don't respect the damage that Lulu is able to put out, you're going to pay for it very quickly. Now that Xenotech has that Dragon's Eye complete, he can start to ramp up and be a threat in these fights as well.
Question is he going to get to a point where he ramps up? I don't think Tribe are willing to wait out longer fights. It's much more about them catching someone out and just critting them to death with these glimmer shots, and that's exactly what Dienzio is trying to do. He gets in, misses the first, misses the second, hits the third and the fourth though, and Luluzio is down to half. They on point, connects as well, and Luluzio will be forced back towards base to heal himself back up. Dienzio says, oh, I'll take one of your treants for healing for myself. And they can look to re-engage. Just waiting on that active camo. Is spotted out by a flare, so won't go any further for the time being. But here he goes. He's running in, going for the engage onto Xenotech. Double crit does take him low. Luluzio's on that front line. Xenotech goes down first blood. Goes towards Tribe in this fight. The engage comes in with the Rosa Penzo as well. And Max Green gets a good Githyan Wall knockback. But Dienzio doesn't want to trade anymore. Just wants to take away the treants. Now he's looking for Mac Daddy. He decides against it. 1-for-1 trade. Tribe and GankStars still surprisingly close in these fights. Turning onto Luluzio, gets a stealth, but the stun does land, and that's a dead Kestrel. Max Green's going to get chased away here as well. Might even get the ace, although T-Tigers does just respawn in time. The big red button forces Max Green into a bad situation, and Mac Daddy chases him out with the blood for blood.
And that's a 5th kill on the board for GankStars now. And like I said, you have to respect the damage that this Jewel can do. With the overdrive on the Thunder Strikes, they will crit. And with a Sorrow Blade, a Monocle, and working into a Tornado Trigger, Jewel can delete a squishy target like Kestrel. No armor built on Kestrel yet. T-Tiger's finally working into some of his own. But, you know, again, GankStars have a clear opportunity where they can still win this, as they do secure a gold mine there as well. Dienzio almost snuck that one away. Not quite the shot that he needed, but I still think they are in a comfortable spot as long as they don't overcommit to a fight and get blown up by Lulu, who now has the Tornado Trigger complete and is working into more critical damage at this point.
I totally agree with you. They're only 2,000 gold ahead now. You know, Tribe are very much on the back foot, and if Dienzio especially steps out of line, he's going to get caught up. There's the Impale onto Luluzio, but he can just jump away with that leap. Here comes Max Green. Mac Daddy getting shredded. There's the big red button to knock him back. Githyan comes out, but doesn't stun up Xenotech. Dienzio is looking for a way to thread a one-shot, one-kill, but couldn't find it. It's only just come off cooldown as well, so instead Tribe will go back, clear out the Crystal Sentry, and wait for GankStars to make a mistake.
Yeah, and that's something that Tribe has done well, is anytime that Xenotech gets a little bit too far out, gets a little bit too close into that front line, they blow him up in a heartbeat. Now, with the Kraken on the board, both of these teams actually have a composition that can take the Kraken very quickly, but you know, with it being started up and all members of GankStars alive, we could see a fight breaking out here, or we could just see a Kraken getting taken down. Such a risky call from both of these teams. Here we go.
Glimmers are coming out, but Max Green's already quite low, needs to use the Fountain. Here comes the Oblivion, the block comes out, Zeo survives, and that's a kill. Already on towards the Jewel. That Gauntlet is actually locking in the team. Here comes GankStars, but Xenotech will get taken out. 2-for-0 trade, sorry, in favor of Tribe. And they take the exact fight that they needed to try and secure this win.
And now with Dienzio forcing up the lane and T-Tigers and Max Green going to go ahead and work on that Kraken, this likely could be the final push for Tribe. There's only 2 turrets between them and a victory, and this isn't as quick of a game as the last one, but it doesn't matter how quick you win, it matters that you win. And they're looking in a wonderful position right now to be able to do so. It's going to be all about the damage coming out of Jewel and Samuel finding a kill, taking down the Kraken, and holding GankStars' lifeline of staying in, possibly to find a Game 3.
I'm just not sure that GankStars have the mental fortitude at this point. They feel a little bit defeated to me. Maybe if they had won that last fight, they would have been able to continue in this series. But Tribe have shown us consistently that they are able to capitalize on their opponent's mistake. You've got Tornado Trigger and Double Tyrants on D'Enzio now as well. You've got the Impales landing. You've got Zio looking for the flank and Zeno going down, and that's another kill for Tribe. And D'Enzio is just consistently finding the exact they need. He's going to get a double stun there and a double kill. Mac Daddy's going to get chased out as well. Could even be the triple. Not quite, but it is an ace for Tribe. And with the Kraken pushing in, this should be 2-0 for them as they go through to the semi-finals tomorrow. And they still have those Worlds chances alive. You know, it's incredibly close. M and TSM battling out. Rogue almost out of contention now with Tribe winning today. But there is still a chance for all three of those teams to get that second World spot.
Definitely close in the runnings, but Tribe keep their lifeline good to go. And they, again, they have to win this entire week if they want to go to Worlds, as well as they have to hope that Team Solo Mid has a less than top par performance. So with that, that's about all I have to say about that one, and I'm excited to get into Tempo Storm versus Team Solo Mid next.
Yeah, going to be a great series. We're going to hand it back across towards our analyst to break down that